After a few days had passed since the other tribes agreed to the meeting, this happened.
Ah, I see you're taking your studies very seriously, Eios. How's everything been going with your research?
It's been coming together quite nicely. Our team just needs a few more details before we establish the nation's first encyclopedia being made public. I'm looking for something spectacular. Something worth being documented for the entire world to acknowledge. I just need to know what it is.
Well, you're in luck. That's exactly why I'm here. How would you like to document the first ever peace treaty our nation is forming with the other non-human tribes?
Peace treaty, you say? That's actually very noteworthy. Tell me, when will this peace treaty take place? I've always wanted to get a close and personal encounter with the non-human tribes. They are so much like us, yet many people still view them as monsters. I can't seem to understand the crazed paranoia regarding them.
Believe me, son, your brother and the other soldiers want them all exterminated. You'll never know how far the fear of the unknown would push people to go. That's why I want this meeting to be well documented and announce publicly that the hunting of the non-human tribes is outlawed in the Nation of Light. Which is why I believe your team would be best suited to travel with us to the meeting for us to actually get the chance to know and understand the non-human tribes better.
Of course, this is a monumental, once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to see and document history being made before our very eyes. I'll let the others know as soon as possible.
Yes, I knew you'd see it our way. The meeting will take place at the ancient Forest Temple, 3 days from now at noon. Be sure to notify all the other researchers about this insightful event.
I will, Father. That's the first thing I plan to do. I'm sure they all would be thrilled to travel with us.
As joyous as this news sounds, not everyone was happy to hear such progress being made. Once the king made the public announcement, many people, especially Apollo, didn't hesitate to voice their opposition against the peace treaty.
Have those two gone mad? Don't they care for the well-being of our citizens? This is beyond absurd. Calm down, Apollo. Remember your temper. It's alright. Once I'm king, I'll make the Nation of Light the utopia it was always meant to be. In our human world, I'll be regarded as the greatest king who ever lived. And so the story set off with our heroes traveling on horseback to meet the heads of all the other non-human tribes in the area. This was set up to be a very monumentous occasion. They traveled a few days on horseback to get to their destination. And upon meeting at their supposed destination was a beautiful oasis filled with all sorts of lush green life and just abundance everywhere. Then, upon their arrival, there seemed to be a cloaked figure who was already expecting and anticipating the arrival of the Priest King and his acolytes. It was quite the interesting encounter. However, upon reveal, the mysterious figure turned out to be one of the elven messengers sent by the queen herself to, greet the new travelers.
Greetings, humans from the Nation of Light. I'm an elven messenger sent from Her Majesty the Queen to escort you to the meeting grounds. This is an honor.
No, the pleasure is ours, elven messenger. I'm Prince Eios of the Nation of Light. My adventurer alias is Hamp. It's a likewise pleasure to meet you too.
Whoa, that's actually the kindest interaction I've ever received from humans, so far. You're clearly a different breed, compared to the other humans we've encountered.
Honestly, it's nothing short of deplorable whenever we hear news of people committing heinous acts towards non-humans for senseless reasons. My goal is to document this historical peace treaty to ensure we put an end to the violence between the humans and non-human tribes in Zestria.
Incredible. I never thought in all my years I'd see the day I'd meet a human with such conviction to help our kind. You're certainly a rare breed indeed.
It's very relieving to see that there are humans that think different from what we've been introduced to. This is the sign of a new beginning. I'm Sylph, by the way. It's a pleasure to see my brother Ainsley opening up to you. He's usually very reserved and closed off.
That's great. I'm actually glad I came here to be introduced to this peace treaty. I'm now seeing everything about the non-human tribes being shown in a new light. With that being said, we vow to ensure that the Nation of Light views the non-human tribes in a completely different, yet positive light from here on out. We have so much in common, that the fear shouldn't even take place.
I agree, but it's not just the Elven tribe that want to make this work. We're all waiting for great change to take place from this treaty. We look forward to your promises.
And so the Priest King went on ahead to meet with the Elven Queen as the meeting continued.
And so, the sit-down meet and greet with the Elven Queen turned out to be quite the nice, harmonious occasion. There were a few laughs, similar takes on life, and just general enjoyment of each other's company. But let's get down to business. That's what they were all asking. Right then and there, the Priest King wasted no time signing the peace treaty, and even made a guaranteed covenant with the other tribes that if any of us were to break, whether it's on their tribe or his end, there would be a madness curse placed on the lineages of whoever broke it. And so, with his guaranteed word, he instantly won the favor with the other non-human tribes. Yes, the Priest King had quite the influence and respect even amongst non-humans. It was very, very nice knowing that he had that much connections and power. Well, at least he knows how to use it responsibly. That's what Eios recorded. And upon arrival, they returned to the Northern Lights country, where they were greeted warmly, and the Priest King told his followers about the new peace treaty, and that the non-human tribes, now had their own sect of Zestria, along with their own private sect. So, like, anybody that hunts them, each other is forbidden. So that right there was the start of history being made right there, as peace and mutual agreement was established between both the Nation of Light and the non-human tribes. However, there's always a wolf in sheep's clothing lurking in the midst. Observe. Why, hello there, brother. How was the legendary peace treaty both you and father established with the non-human tribes? I assume it was an enlightening experience.
Why, yes it was. The world is much larger out there than we thought. Apollo, you have to travel with us on our crusades one day.
All in due time, Eios. All in due time. However, there's a few more things I'd like to know about your interactions with the non-human tribes. Did the Draconian tribe by any chance use some lizard people hypnosis to convince father to make that covenant? Or was that the result of ancient woodland magic brought on by the elves? You can tell me all the details.
I'm sorry, what? Apollo, I can definitely assure you father was under no manipulation whatsoever. If something was amiss, he'd definitely be the first to know about it. Besides, the Crusader's light makes us immune to such parlor tricks. Seriously, Apollo, the non-human tribes aren't as bad as you think they are. You've got to be more open-minded than that.
I beg your pardon. Such rhetoric. I was only looking out for my dear father and brother is all. I'm just surprised at how immediately accepting you're all of this. Don't any of you see how strange this all is?
Please, the only thing that's strange here is your inability to let the past go. Both your father and brother have just made history and all you're talking about is skepticism. Seriously, do something with yourself.
Well, I never.
Look, Apollo, it's been a long voyage returning here. If you don't have anything constructive to say, then I must take my leave. Now, if you excuse me.
What a self-entitled little... Come down, Apollo. Come down. It's all in due time. It's all in due time.
Impossible. How on earth could someone remain so abstinent in the midst of worldwide progress? How could Apollo be so blind to the great things being done throughout Zestria?
It's unfortunate, Miss Green. However, this is the world we live in. You have to understand that in this world, it's impossible to assume that every person you come across is agreeable or easy to work with. Humans by nature are complex beings. When you've worked this job as long as I have, you'll see firsthand that not everyone is going to like, support or agree with anything you do for some reason. This story here is a textbook example.
But, this shouldn't have been a problem at all. Why couldn't Apollo just accept the change and let it be for the greater good?
Who knows? Perhaps the same reason why we have any form of conflict, arguments, feuds and disagreements within families, workplaces or society at large. One party thinks they're right, while another thinks likewise. Then, comes the inevitable conclusion that both parties can't be right. So, both sides go out of the way to prove that the other party is wrong. Thus, wars are started off that one simple fact.
But, you're right.
We're not dogs, Miss Green. If a dog likes you, it'll run up to you, jump on your clothes and lick you. Otherwise, it'll growl, bark and let you know not to come near it. Humans, Miss Green, are a completely different story. It's only people that can wear a mask for years making a person think that they're a best friend for years, all the while secretly despising said person and plotting their downfall.
Yes, that's true.
Also, you might not know this, Miss Green. However, in my field as a detective, I've truly seen just how complex human beings really are. You have no idea how many times we've had to solve a case dealing with difficult people. It would disturb you just how many people ended up spending the rest of their life behind bars or 6 feet under. Whether it was the wrong friendship, relationship or business partner, it was all because someone got caught up with the wrong person or people.
Whoa.
It's for countless reasons like this why you don't see me hanging around a bunch of people here at the agency other than you, Miss Green. You're the one I trust the most here.
Mr. Hernandez, I'm actually glad to hear you say that.
Now, back to the story. One day, a prophet called for the Priest King on an urgent matter discussing his sons. This led to a myriad of events to transpire.